Hey guys, we have some pretty crazy news to go talk about as of today. Now, there's been gaming drama that's been blowing up everywhere, and it's all in regards over here to one of the most anticipated games, especially for Xbox, Black Myth Wukong. But if you guys have probably known, Xbox got completely shafted. The game itself is not, as of currently, available for the Xbox consoles. We don't know when it's supposed to be coming out, and as well, there's even some big, deep, underground, shady deals going on. Apparently, that PlayStation may have actually bought exclusivity. Now, there's a little bit of a toss-up, but I'm going to give you guys the full-on story because some people are saying there is, some people are saying there isn't. There is like people throwing journalists underneath the bus, and of course, as well, it still doesn't save the fact that Xbox does not have Black Myth Wukong. It missed out on potentially tens of millions of sales. So big drama. Let's talk about it. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch room down below in case you guys like to follow, and I appreciate y'all so much for watching. So first and foremost, if you guys have missed it, as of right now, we've kind of seen this Black Myth Wukong game go insane. Like, this game was one of the best games out there. There's millions of people who bought it. We've now been seeing numbers too as well that this game apparently hit over 15 million sales. And if you guys want to have a reference, some of the biggest games in the entire world have not even hit those numbers. Like, that's a crowning achievement. If you hit 10 million, that's like you're one of the best games of all time. Now, don't get me wrong, some Nintendo games or Minecraft, GTA have bolstered crazy numbers, but for a game that's only been out for a few weeks from an unbasically like I guess I don't want to say deserved, but basically unproven game company, is kind of big news. But the big issue over here is that apparently Xbox is just not getting it. Like, so first and foremost, there's like 3 levels to this video. Initially, a lot of people were assuming that the Xbox just was not strong enough. And that is a little bit of a half-truth. So as you guys know, the Xbox Series S is kind of a requirement for Xbox games. They want every game to be treated equal, which is good to an extent, but it's been bad because on multiple different cases, the Xbox Series S has been a huge hindrance on Xbox, to the point where Baldur's Gate got massively delayed. They lost a lot of sales on that game. Same thing too as well with other various games that just sometimes don't even happen because, and they don't even port to Xbox because they just can't and don't want to put the manpower on a very subpar machine. Now, it was all on the Xbox Series X, very similar specs to the PlayStation, makes sense. Series S, though, is a lot weaker, so trying to run a big game like Black Myth Wukong, which was already having issues on the PS5, not crazy amounts, but a little bit, it kind of just goes to show that it's probably not even possible. To the point where I'll be even surprised if GTA 6 even launches well on the Xbox Series S, or there's even going to be a delay. But anyway, so basically the initial thing was, hey, Xbox was just a mediocre console for the Series S. There is really big bugs going on too as well, that there was just issues on top of this, and it kind of screwed over Xbox people. So the game is reportedly suffering from a bug known as memory leaks, which can cause significant crashes that could compromise the performance of your Xbox console. Due to this issue, the game has not passed Xbox's bug detection test and has therefore been indefinitely delayed until they manage to optimize the game for the Series X and S. But once again, this is probably on the S. Mainly because, you know, the Xbox Series X has way better specs, more memory, pretty much spot on with the PS5. Series S, though, has had issues non-stop. Like, there's been games everywhere over here, too. Saying, like, people are saying the game was very annoying for these big and better AAA games. Also, everyone's just being nice to me on Twitter, so I'm on the notifications. Thank you for anyone who also said happy birthday. If you guys missed it, it was my birthday yesterday. I'm kind of recording this early because I know I'm going to be hungover. So if you guys are, like, on the stream or said hi in Twitch, or just even in general, like, said happy birthday, like, on Twitter or even YouTube comments, thank you. Thank you guys for being part of my life. I'll give you guys a better video, and thank you for that in the future. But basically, it's just bad. Like, a lot of people are like, hey man, this is just a rough game. You need to optimize games. You have to make these good. People are trying to say like it's just not good either way. And that led into issues of basically people assuming the Xbox console was rough. Like, they're basically being like, hey man, this console's just not good. They're having issues, but they're like working on it. And they're already going to work on this stuff and trying to get the certs and get the approval, and it's becoming over here. But that still runs into big issues. Because even though they've said some official stuff saying we're currently optimizing the Xbox Series XS version to meet our quality standards, so it won't release simultaneously with other platforms. We apologize for the delay and aim to minimize the wait for Xbox users. We will announce the release date as soon as it hits our quality standards. But that's another big thing to know, and I want to highlight this right here. This is where like the drama kind of goes, if you guys have been listening, where it gets better. We can't comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders, but we remain focused on making Xbox the best platform for gamers. And that's where things get interesting, because now the next rumor is that PlayStation apparently went and bought out the rights for Black Myth Wukong. Now, this is very like all over the place because this article over here is where it kind of stemmed from. And it's on Forbes, somewhat reputable, people like Paul, whatever. But this is where people are basically calling out Paul, calling out other people, talking about the fact that the game itself is potentially bought out by PlayStation, trying to go and force and pay for exclusivity on the game itself. And what I think what actually happened, though, is even smarter. Now, from what we've had a chance to see, and this is a lot of back and forth and drama, I believe, from our understanding, the PlayStation, Sony themselves spent money early into development to make sure the game is working well. So there was not an Xbox like blacklist, or where PlayStation's like we're paying for exclusivity on the game. It was just that PlayStation took it seemed like it took the initial initiative to go make sure the game can run well. Basically saying, hey, this game's looking cool. In the next 6 months, we want to make sure it's released on PlayStation well. Can we, as PlayStation, loan you guys, some of our guys, to work with you to make sure it runs well on PlayStation? And apparently some people are very against that. And I'm not really sure why. So that's like where I think it is in terms of all the information. So some people are rumoring it was a exclusivity period. And most people are assuming probably not, because we've had other issues. Say, once again, Baldur's Gate, or we just showed you guys for Suicide Squad, is that there has been games out there that are just not running well on the Xbox Series S, or developers saying they do not want to make games because they also have to deal with the Xbox Series S. Or just Xbox as a whole had issues too as well for like approving games and updates. Even look at Power World was like a good example. So that's, I think, the bigger issue. I think that Xbox just didn't take the initiative, and then PlayStation did. Which, in my mind, that's not, I think, a bad thing. Mainly because that means that PlayStation had the foresight, they had the funding, and they wanted to truly make sure whatever platform the PlayStation users are on, they can enjoy the game, and they can enjoy the experience, and they can sit there and enjoy it. Because they spent the money, they put the manpower, the time preemptively, like they did that preemptive notion to make sure it worked good. And that's what's going on. But some people are saying the opposite, where it's like, no, this is probably just a timed exclusivity, and then Xbox is trying to be like, who cares? Like, whatever, it's not our fault. Basically, from the line that I showed you guys down here, we're saying we cannot comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders. And this is where everything kind of started calling out with Paul, because people are like, that's not what we've really heard. It just seems like PlayStation took the initiative, as I tried to go and explain. It's a little bit of a convoluted story, but it kind of put a huge discourse on all of this. Because a lot of people are like, who kind of knows like what's going on? We don't have the internal details or whatever. But some people are saying there is no Sony money marketing deal keeping the Black Myth off of Wukong. And people are saying too as well that they had a chance to just help get the port done. Which, like I said, and then once again, though, people are kind of calling out Paul and like some of these other people too as well. Like I think like the Jez Corzin guy, whatever, like they were just kind of spewing out random stuff, and then their sources couldn't back it up. And then like the legit leakers out there were talking about it. I don't know. It's like that petty drama where I don't really care that much about it, but it's entertaining for me as an onlooker because I'm just like reporting the news. Like these people are trying to find the news. Sometimes I would just report on the news, so it's a little bit easier for me to be like the bystander with like some popcorn, being like, yeah, what a dumbasses. I'm doing nothing. I'm just making a YouTube video. You know, it's kind of nice. But that's why it gets crazy because like even Paul was kind of like triple downing, saying that it's possible there could be a temp exclusivity deal going on for it to get the port for the PlayStation side without paying for a traditional marketing deal. Clearly, marketing is not involved, specifically told it's not a tech issue. But once again, this tech issue seems like it's an ongoing issue all the time, where a lot of people keep on having to say this. Once again, like we've had other game examples that are saying it was annoying, they don't want to do it, they're going to skip Xbox, they're not going to release it, the player base isn't there, the console's not there. And this is not us hating on the Xbox. Like, I love Game Pass, I love the Xbox. But if people are saying this from developers on multiple different occasions, you have to kind of take it like properly, like listen to the devs out there. And this is where I think it gets worse, because it does seem like PlayStation took the initial step to go make sure the game can run their consoles. I think that's a win. I think that's good for the PlayStation users, because there was nothing stopping Xbox from doing the same exact thing. Why are these big companies being like, hey, we see your game, it's getting a lot of good promotion and press, let's get like 10 of your guys and 10 of our guys, and let's make sure this is running perfect on our console 6 months early. We'll pay for it. We'll pay for consulting fees because we know this will make us money if you sell it on my PlayStation or my console. And I think that's where people kind of get mad at, because I don't think it's Xbox's like problem that PlayStation worked ahead and vice versa. So it's kind of crazy because we don't really know. There could have been some black market deals going on. We don't fully know. But at the end of the day, I just think that Xbox has been losing out on games actively. So multiple really big releases where they've lost millions of potential sales and a lot of money, but as well, a lot of potential people staying on their consoles. Like I see people still wanting to sell their Xbox Series S's and moving on. Like it's just a big issue. So I want to hear your thoughts and comments on all this down below. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed and give me your thoughts. I'll talk to you guys all soon.